Lots of you guys are posting stuff that is actively repelling online fitness coaching clients. All right. So I was talking to a coach the other day inside of content and clients, and I was looking at her content and I was just noticing over and over and over 3 tips, fact, fact, fact. You have to do this. You can't do this. And I told her, you have to stop posting this type of content. This is not content that is ever going to make somebody want to work with you. And I've seen this happen time and time again. All right. So many coaches, it is not that they're not showing up online. They're actually posting. They're posting daily. They are consistent. They're showing up on their social media. It's not that they need to go get another certification because they don't know enough, right? So many coaches, they think like, hey, facts sell. And so once they give away all their facts and all their little tips, then they're like, hey, I'm still not getting clients, which must mean I need to go get more education, more information, more certifications so that I have more facts to put on the timeline that still is not going to get me clients, right? And they're just overall just like spinning their wheels with just generic played out content that's very much do this, don't do that. Here's 3 tips, here's 3 hacks. And this is content that does not sign clients. All right. And so I'm a little bit fired up today, but I want to talk about this because this is a huge issue that I'm seeing here in 2025. More fitness coaches than I've ever seen before are struggling to get leads, struggling to get people to want to talk to them in the DMs, struggling to get any sort of engagement or traction in the online space. And this is the reason. All right. So what I want to talk about today is content. Specifically, I want to talk about what should we actually be posting if we want to begin attracting an audience, gaining respect, so that people want to engage with us in a meaningful, sales-driven way. We're going to talk about what all needs to go into that, why this is happening, and also I'm going to give you some tips on how to use AI here in 2025 to actually help create content. All right, there's so much garbage out there with AI content right now. I'm going to teach you the right way to use AI so that you are able to start getting leads and start getting clients. All right. And so the very first thing, I have a few notes here that I'm going to talk through. The very first thing I want to talk about is we have to do away with generic fitness content. All right. We have to do away with generic fitness content. We have to understand. So I got started back in 2016 as an online fitness coach. All right. I just dropped out of college. I was working in my family's construction business. I was super passionate about fitness. And so I kind of started the side hustle of online fitness coaching. And the number one objection that I would get back then was I would get on sales calls and people would be like, dude, what is online fitness coaching? Like, can I get an example of what this is going to look like? Hey, you're saying you're going to build me out like custom programs. Like, what does that look like? I've never even seen anything like this. So the objection was to the actual mechanism of online fitness coaching itself. It wasn't about like the program or pricing. It was literally like, I don't even know what fitness coaching is. Then 2020 rolls around. Obviously, the whole world shuts down. And if you wanted to keep fitness coaching, like you had to move into the online space. And so what ends up happening is all the fitness coaches, all the gym owners, like the entire fitness industry goes into the online space. Now the thing is you didn't even have to be good. All right. I've been actually, this message here that I'm talking about today, this is something I've been talking about for 5 years. And I have warned coaches and I've warned coaches. I've said, hey, you have to do things the right way because there's coming a day where this is not going to work. Right? You literally did not even have to be good, which was actually like it was a bad thing. It was a red flag. You didn't even have to be good to blow up and hit 10K months, to hit 6 figures. You just literally had to show up, post some content, be willing to send a few DMs here and there, and you would literally hit 10K months. The reason for that is because it was this new novel thing. All of a sudden, the whole world goes into the online, space. And all of a sudden, like even our grandparents, the boomers, like the older generations for the first time became welcoming to the idea of like, hey, the social media thing that I've been bashing on for the last decade, maybe it's not so bad. Oh, hey, online services, what's that? And so online fitness coaching, it was this new thing. It was novel. It was popular. It was exciting. People had never done it before. And so people were willing to try it out. They hopped into programs. They had been sent DMs. At this point in 2025, like, most people have been pitched. Lots of people have purchased. And for most people, like program stuff aside and like coaching aside, like lots of people don't get results inside of online fitness coaching programs. And it's not necessarily because the coach is bad or anything like that. It's just like most people literally can't actually be disciplined. They can't actually do this stuff, right? It's like lots of people are going to fail. And so what that's created is there is a world now where skepticism is high. People have been pitched. People have maybe purchased. Like everybody's at least been sent DMs to buy some sort of something, whether it's like MLM products and supplements or just like everybody's been sent DMs. There's not a single person that's not been sent DMs in 2025, right? And so in comes generic fitness coach in 2020 that's just posting generic how-to, 5 tips, my best hacks, and boom, you're signing clients. Didn't even have to be good. It was just new, it was novel, it was exciting. Here's something I've never done before, so let me try it out. All right? 5 years now have elapsed. 5 years have come and gone. People have been in the programs, they've been pitched, they've been on the sales calls, they've gone through the process. And what is happening right now is that the coaches who are continuing to execute the way they did in 2020, the people that, like I said, I've been warning people, I've been literally helping my clients build stuff the right way for the last 5 years because of this specifically. People made a lot of profit really fast. People have landed a lot of clients really quickly. People made a lot of money easily. And now all of a sudden in 2025, it's not working. I'm literally talking to business owners that are like, hey, I've hit the 30K plus months in the past. Now I'm struggling to even get, 2 sales calls in the calendar. This is why, right? Generic fitness coaching does not work. It doesn't work. It's overplayed. People have tried it. So what am I talking about here? We have to begin, I'm going to walk you through 3 shifts that we have to begin making so that I can maybe give you a framework and a worldview and a mindset on how to actually begin thinking about this. So old generic fitness coach played out. Again, you literally, you didn't even need brain cells. Like you just show up and you just put some fitness content out. You have the courage to send a few DMs and put yourself out there and boom, you would sign a few clients. What is happening now is, number one, people are looking for something that is unique and different. The reason people blew up in 2020 and over really those first 3 years, this shift has actually been happening slowly over the last 18 months. People are now starting to feel like it's here now. Like it's been happening for the last 18 months. So if business has started to feel harder and harder and harder, and now you're probably reaching a pinnacle where you're like, dude, this is really hard. I don't know what's going on. It's this right here. 2021, 2020, 2022, right? Things were even 2023. It was new. Nobody had ever done it before. And people are willing to try new things for the first time. But again, they probably didn't get results. Again, it probably had nothing to do with the coach, although there were a few bad actors, there were a few bad coaches. I genuinely believe that lots of coaches have good intentions, right? So now they're looking at you still posting the same generic 5 tips, the same generic, hacks, and they're saying, well, you sound a lot like the coach that I signed up before. You sound a lot like the coach that I got on that really weird sales call. They kind of, put things off and I didn't end up joining. You sound a lot like these other 3 people that are also in my DMs. You probably are just literally exactly like them. So number one, the thing that we have to really set out to do in 2025, going into 2026, if you want to be successful, is we have to figure out how are you unique and different. So I call this, you must have a unique philosophy. All right, unique philosophy is your unique way of doing things. Why do you do the things that you do? What is it that you actually believe? Most coaches, they don't have a unique philosophy. They actually do. What's funny enough is they do, they just don't actually realize it. The thing is that you have a unique way of doing things. You have, life events and a worldview and values and beliefs and the way you grew up and all these things, whether you believe it or not, or whether you're aware of it or not, have led to you having a unique, interesting, and different perspective than, say, I do or the coach down the road does. And so when we're showing up just selling the same, hey, it's a 12-week program with macros and 24/7 check-ins, and here's my 3 chest tips, and here's my diet hack and the thing that I wish I knew when I got started. When we post the same style of content and we sell the same stuff that every other coach in the industry is selling, nothing stands out as unique and different, and we just get grouped in as everybody else. We blend in, we don't stand out, and again, people already purchased that. People already were pitched that. People have already been DM'd about that. Plus, that's where all the other coaches are at, so it's the most competitive. And so that's why this is not working over here, right? It's just literally flat out not working. So we have to begin differentiating ourselves and figuring out, what do I do that's unique and different? Number 2, once we actually are clear on what it is we do inside of our program and how we actually help people, we then have to begin turning this stuff into our own unique big ideas and frameworks. And so we have to take it a step further. Now, the reality is you and I are We're not in a lab. We're not hooking people up to treadmills and EKGs and like actually doing scientific data and finding, new unique ways of fat loss, right? Maybe you're like, dude, I do intermittent fasting and I believe people should eat a low carb diet. Like maybe that's what you believe. I don't know. Maybe you believe something else. It doesn't really matter, right? We have to now package this thing up in a way where we have a big idea, we have unique frameworks and insights that we can actually share with people. So one part of this, for example, I'll just like give you a just example of like naming things. All right. One thing you could do if you believe in like intermittent fasting and like a low carb diet is we could package this thing up into calling this like your anabolic fasting method, right? That would be like an example, right? So we name this thing. We create a philosophy around this thing. We create frameworks around this thing. We get super clear on the stories and the analogies and the visuals that we're going to use to actually communicate this idea of what anabolic fasting is, why people should want it, and how it's actually going to help them, right? And again, this is stuff that coaches are not doing. This is just one example of how to begin developing big ideas, frameworks, and a unique philosophy, right? But immediately, like if I start talking about anabolic fasting, let's say like that's my thing. And every single day I'm getting on the timeline and just like telling people, Coach A shows up and they're like, hey, like you need to fix your hormones if you want to lose fat, right? Well, it's like, dude, there's a ton of coaches saying that. And then I show up and I say, hey, if you had anabolic fasting, you would lose fat faster. It would be easy, like you would actually reach your goals, yada, 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 right? And I've explained to them how all the solutions they've tried in the past, why just trying to fix your hormones didn't work for you, and how actually if you did this anabolic fasting, this would be the thing that would actually get you results. Now here's the thing. If someone becomes bought in on the idea of anabolic fasting and they say, hey, you know what, anabolic fasting sounds great, it sounds amazing, this is the thing that I feel like I should be doing, there's no other coaches in the industry talking about anabolic fasting. That's why this becomes a unique philosophy, right? We don't have to sell people on the fact that we're better than all the other coaches. There's so many coaches right now that, they're just getting loud and they're just calling each other out and they're getting in all to these fights on the timeline and how they're better than people and they're dissing people and they're sliding in other clients' DMs and trying to like steal clients and things like that, right? There's so much of that going on in the industry because people can't figure out how they're unique and different. And so that becomes the game you have to play. There's actually a book that I have somewhere back here called Blue Ocean Strategy. All right, but the overall arching premise of the book is that there are red oceans and there are blue oceans. And the red ocean is where all the sharks are. And so if you're going into shark infested waters, aka you're going into a highly competitive market, this is not a bad thing, right? It's highly competitive because there's lots of fish, there's lots of food, right? There's lots of money, which is a good sign. But we have two options here. We can go into this bloody market, we can go into this red market, and we can try to battle it out for all the, for the few fishes that are there, for the scarce resources. So we can get in there and we can try to out 5 tips people. We can go from, hey, you're posting twice a day. My competitors are, okay, cool, I'm gonna go to 7 times a day. Oh, they're sending 10 DMs a day. Okay, I'm going to send 50 DMs. Oh, they're sending 50. I'm going to send 100 DMs a day. We can play the game of trying to out-battle people, which is what most coaches are trying to do right now. It's what they've been taught. They've been taught these just generic ways where it's like you just have to out-volume other people. Or we can go to blue waters. When you get into blue waters, it's because there's not many other sharks there. You're left alone. And you can actually go out and you've got this whole big wide sea in front of you that's completely blue. There's no bloody waters, so to speak. We're not actually fighting and competing over the same few clients and leads. And this is what's happening right now. Coaches all hopped in. They all started selling the same stuff. They started sounding the same way. They're posting the same stuff. And then they're wondering, why am I not getting clients? If you want to win in 2025, we have to create a unique philosophy. We have to create original big ideas and frameworks. We have to understand, rather than just going out and trying to out 5 tips and go from 20 to 50 to 100 DMs a day, we have to actually find a unique competitive edge. We want to stand out as someone who is unique and different. We want to push a message that is not being seen by your ideal client, by any other coach. We want to actually embody what I call a mission message. a message that comes directly from your core, something that, like in this video, I'm super passionate about this, because this is the thing that will take, for the right coach, this right here is the thing that will blow them up in 2026. It's the thing that will add 6 figures plus to their business. It's one single simple thing. If we figure out how to begin creating content that comes, first of all, from your inner core of what you believe and who it is you are and what you think people should actually be doing, what you are actually convicted of that people should be doing, and we figure out how to position this thing as unique and different, and we create an offer and a message that stands out, that doesn't sound like every other 12-week macro 24/7 generic cookie cutter fitness coach out there, for the right coach, this is the thing that will crush for them in 2026. And so back to the client that I was talking to earlier last week. I might have started out saying earlier this week. It's Monday right now, right? So it was like last week. The thing that is going to set you apart, when you're just posting your 5 tips, you reach a point where you don't even know what direction to be headed in. You begin to just tweak and to change things up all the time, because you're constantly just trying to figure out, like, how do I make this thing work? You do all kinds of chasing. You come across as desperate and salesy and needy, because everything you're doing, it just seems like it doesn't work. And the thing you have to understand is that it's not that you need more certifications. It's not that you're a bad coach. It's not like even your work ethic, or that you're not posting online or willing to do stuff, right? It's not that. It's that you are in these red waters. You are literally battling it out, trying to, you might not, I don't mean this offensively when I say the generic coach, because you're probably actually a phenomenal coach. What I'm talking about is your ideal client's perception of who it is you are, your audience's perception of who it is you are. They perceive you, right? Because you're not the only fitness coach they follow. That's the thing that so many coaches forget, right? Like, if somebody follows you as a fitness coach, they probably follow 15, 16, 20 other fitness coaches, because they're getting lots of inspiration from these people. And if your content sounds exactly like the 7 other posts that they just scrolled through, they're not going to be interested. And so I'm going to wrap this up, but I would just say that in general, I'm seeing lots of coaches right now who are very clearly frustrated, are very clearly like not getting leads, not getting clients, and they're not sure what to do, because they've tried it all. They are throwing the whole kitchen sink at it, and they're just not getting traction. This is what we have to be doing. This is what I've been helping my clients do for the last 5 years. It's the reason why my clients that I've worked with have actually stood out as unique and different from everyone else. We can no longer be generic if that is like where you're stuck right now. Again, I don't mean that in any way offensively, because you're probably actually a phenomenal coach who has really good skills and really good client results, and you can help a lot of people. The issue is that the way you are showing up currently, the way you are marketing yourself, the way you are trying to sell yourself, it sounds generic and played out. It sounds like this, exactly what everybody else is doing. And until you fix that part, you're just not going to see results. All right. So check out the links down below. I got stuff to click on. If you'd like some help with some of this stuff, like if you're like, hey, this sounds awesome, this is great, hit me up on Facebook, Tell Fisher. I actually think down in the description of this video, there should be a link to my Facebook profile. Would love to chat with you. This is the difference maker. Like I said, for the right coach, the coach that's actually creative, the coach that has good ideas, the coach that actually cares about trying to figure out, how do I begin to create a worldview and a lifestyle for my clients to step into, the coaches that are ready to step up as an industry leader, to put something out there into the world that is unique and different, that stands out from everybody else, and to really champion a cause and pursue a worthy mission and purpose inside of this online fitness coaching industry. If that's you, if you are a coach like that and you would like to, at minimum, just chat and go back and forth, feel free to reach out. Like I said, Tell Fisher, Facebook link should be down below. With that being said, peace. See you in the next one.